Okay, class, today what we're going to do is we're going to take our slant block that we built. We want to place that onto our title block and border that we built. So to do that, we're just going to go up to open rather than new because we're dealing with something that's already existing. Then we want to go into our folder where we placed our title block. So here's my title block, and I'm just going to click open. Then what I want to do is go up to the upper left-hand corner, place that we said that that's where our tools are going to be the most. We're going to click on base. Then we want to go into the folder where our slant block was saved. Here's our slant block. So I'm just going to double click on it to open it. Now it comes in and it says here that we have a scale, and it says scale 1/2. What I want to do is I want to change that to a full scale, so 1:1. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I want to move it down so that it's pretty close to my title block. Now, when we're dealing with these views, what we're going to deal with is something that's called an orthographic. The orthographic shows the front, the top, and the right-hand side, and it's standard throughout the engineering industry. So in technical drawing, we always deal with the orthographics, the front, top, right-hand side. So to do that, all I'm going to do is continue to go back to my front view. Then I did my front, place my top, then my right-hand side. What I also want to do is something that we call pictorial. I want to make an isometric. So I'm just going to go up in this direction, and I'm just going to drop this, and then I'm going to say OK. Now once I click OK, everything turns black and white, which is exactly what I want. The only view that we're going to have in colored is going to be the isometric, our pictorial. So we notice that we have a couple problems here. Number one, our pictorial, the isometric, which is here, is not in color. But we also notice that it's really big. So we want to scale that down. So to scale this down, all we're going to do is right click and go to edit view. I then want to take, and now I'm just dealing with that area that's highlighted in green. I'm going to take this and I'm going to put in 2/3. I want this to be 2/3 scale. So that makes it a bit smaller. But what I also want to do is I also want to make that shaded. I want to make it colored. And I'm going to click OK. Then what I can do is just drag it down a bit. And we don't want it touching the title block or the border or anything like that. But what we want to do is, just get it down there so we have some room. Now, once I have my views, again, my front, my top, right-hand view, and then my pictorial, then what I need to do is I need to dimension it. Because what our goal is to make a set of plans. A set of plans so that we can reproduce this object. So to do that, all I'm going to do, anytime I'm dimensioning, I'm annotating. So whenever you annotate something, you're putting notes on it. In this class, we use something called baseline dimensions, meaning that we are always going to start from the baseline, from the one side here, and then we're going to go from one side to the next area, and we're going to drag this dimension out until it turns dotted, and then we're going to click. What that does for us is, number one, it takes our extension lines and brings them off of our object. We want to have a little space in there. And then that, when it turns dotted, that means that we're proper distance away from the object. My next dimension, start right back where I was before. I'm going to click from here to here. I'm going to bring my dimension up. When it turns dotted, I'm going to click. So what that's saying is 3 inches to this little part where it starts to slant, over overall this object is 5 inches. Now when you want to do the height, so my height, I'm going to go closest to my title block. I'm going to click from here to here. I want to drag it out until it turns dotted. That's the proper distance. Click the left click the mouse, and then for my next dimension for my height, the overall height, I'm going to start right back from where I was before. Drag that out, and I want to make sure that it's spaced where the objects or the dimensions aren't crowding each other. So I have all the information I have for my height. I have all the information I need for my width. The only other dimension I need is for my depth. And the depth will go in between either the top view or the right hand side view. And we can place it wherever we have the room. Okay, so that's basically how we put our object onto paper, and that's really quick how we go about dimensioning the information. Once we have this done, I just want to go and I want to save it. I go save as, and what I can do is make sure that I do not write over that Mr. A border. I want to take and I want to name this Slant Prop. So when I do save it, it doesn't write over my border. So now I save it, and then if I go into my folder, that's where it would be.